two.
To excel. I am your host, Jacqueline Jobs. We are live on WMEG Radio, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. If you have not followed, please go follow and subscribe and like. I would greatly appreciate it. All right, now today we're going to be talking about the role of self talk and personal empowerment. The theme, how your internal dialogue shapes your external results. Good morning to all who have tuned in. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. All right, so let's get started. All right, we're going to talk about how your internal dialogue, what we say about ourselves every day, how it can either lift us up or hold us back. How it can lift us up or hold us back. Now, I want you to think about what it is that you say to yourself. Now, people are like, I don't talk to myself. Everybody say a little bit of something to themselves. It might be, um, oh my goodness, I'm gonna have a good day today. Like, why did you do that? So just think about what is that internal dialogue that you say to yourself? What is that? What does it sound like? What does it look like? Think about that for a minute. And then we're going to discuss how it can either lift you up or how it can either hold you back. What is that? What is it? Okay. So now, what is self-talk? So when we get started, we're going to dive right into what is self-talk. Now, self-talk is the constant thoughts that you might have or the inner dialogue that you have with yourself. So if you get up in the morning, oh my goodness, I'm tired. That's your inner dialogue. That's self-talk. If you get up in the morning, look at yourself in the mirror, oh my goodness, today I look a hot mess. You're not saying it out loud, but you're thinking it. That's your self-talk. You can even say it out loud as well. So it can be inner dialogue or you're actually vocalizing that dialogue. So now, when we do that, when we have our self-talk, we either have positive self-talk or negative self-talk. And I want you to stop and think about that. Positive, negative, plus, minus, good, bad, positive, negative. So when you're having your self-talk, what are you doing? What are you thinking about? How are you talking to yourself? So for an example, I can't do this. Is that negative or positive? That's negative. Then you have, I always mess things up. Negative self-talk. I'm not smart. I'm not good enough. Negative self-talk. But then if you say, I am capable, or I am beautiful, I am loved, I am empowered, I can do this. That is all positive self-talk. So once again, stop and think. How do you talk to yourself? Now, we're not talking about how you talk to others. How do you talk to yourself? And some people are like, that might not matter. It matters. It matters how you talk to yourself. So stop and think, how do you talk to yourself? Now, I want you to do this for me. Think about what you say to yourself when you're under a lot of pressure. Think about what you say to yourself when you're under a lot of pressure and when you make mistakes. What does that voice sound like? Is it a friendly voice or is it a critical voice? So let's see. You're under a lot of pressure. It might be pressure at work. Your boss is hounding you, saying you got to turn in this, you got to turn in that, or you're not making enough sales. It depends on what you're doing. You might be your own business owner. That's enough pressure right there of itself. So think about it. You are under pressure. What does your voice sound like? Is it a friendly voice saying, we got this, take some deep breaths, we're going to get through this, all we got to do is this, this, and this? Or is it a critical voice saying, oh my goodness, We're not going to make that deadline. Oh my goodness. This is all falling apart. Why did I even start doing this? Why did I do this? Think about it. Friendly or critical voice. And then just put yourself right there right at the moment. What do you want to hear? Do you want to hear the friendly voice or do you want to hear the critical voice? I say friendly. I want all the friendliness I can get. So that's what I'm aiming for. Now, if your self-talk had a voice, would it be someone who supports you or someone who holds you back? If your self-talk had a voice, would it be someone who supports you or someone who holds you back? Put that in the chat for those who are watching, viewing through social media. I want you to drop it in the chat. If your self-talk had a voice, would it be someone who supports you or someone who holds you back? Now, I want you to stop and think for a minute, or I just want you to realize this. In order for any coaching session, empowerment session to work, you have to be honest with yourself. So you can sit and you can listen and you can go, that ain't me. That's not me. But if you know that that's you, you need to actually put in the work to do better. Put in the work to see that change that you want to see. Now, if it's not you, okay, it's not you. But if something that I'm talking about today and it resonates with you, it hits you and you go, oh my goodness, that's me. Guess what? Let's work on it. Let's work on it. Don't leave from this day the same, because I'm going to give you the tools that you need. I'm going to give you the strategies that you need to do better. And then what I am telling you all, trust me, when I was preparing this, I had to reflect and think about myself and go, oh, is this me? Like, oh, that's me. I need to work on that. So this is not passing judgment on anybody. This is not trying to shame anybody, but it's just saying that these are skills that we need to work on to improve ourselves. Nobody is perfect. So every day we are looking for that growth. We want to be able to grow to another level. So these are just some strategies that are going to help you get there. So for those who are confident in themselves, you can drop in the chat, if your self-talk had a voice, would it be someone who supports you or is it someone who holds you back? Okay, and we have Nicole. She says her voice does both. Her voice does both. And then she also said, there are times I am like, okay, I got this. And some days I am pushing me to just make it through the day. Now, that's all of us. That is all of us. Some days we're just like, today's going to be a good day. And then other days we get up and we're just like, oh, my body's talking to me. Oh, the knees. Oh, the legs, the back aches. Oh my goodness. Today's not going to be good. But I need you to also realize that when you start speaking those negative words over yourself, then you're allowing that to happen, because your mindset already for the day is, today's not going to be a good day. I'm going to let my body win. The way that my body's acting right now is going to predict how the rest of my day is going to go. So if I'm already speaking, oh, my knees hurt. Guess what? My knees going to hurt for the rest of the day. And therefore, it's going to affect my ability to do what it is that I need to do. But if you wake up in the morning knowing full well that you deal with joint pains and whatever else, and you wake up in the morning, oh, today's going to be a good day. Body, you're not going to do this today. We're going to act right. We're going to get out this bed and we're going to keep it moving. And guess what? You just had a positive self-talk with yourself this morning. And that's what we need to have every day. We need to have those positive self-talks. Now, I want to discuss the impact of negative self-talk. The impact of negative self-talk, because negative self-talk can affect your confidence, it can affect your decision-making and your relationships. And you're probably sitting there wondering, how can these things affect confidence, decision-making, and relationships when it's something that I'm doing to myself? There are a lot of things that we do to ourselves that have adverse effects. We eat too much food, salty food. Guess what? We getting high blood pressure. We intake too much sugar, we're going to have glucose problems. So just think about it. Your self-talk, if you're taking in too much negativity, is going to reflect on the outside some way, somehow. So now we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about how negative self-talk affects confidence, decision-making, and relationships. So we have negative self-talk undermines confidence. It reinforces limiting beliefs. I'm not good enough. I'm going to always mess up. I'm a failure. So when you do that, your confidence in yourself is shrinking. Why? Because you're believing those negative words that have been spoken. And this is not negative words that's been spoken by other people, because when other people say negative words, it hurts. And you're like, oh my goodness, no, they didn't. But then when you're saying this to yourself, so sometimes when you're saying it to yourself, it doesn't hit the same as when other people say it to you. So you're like, oh, this is just what I'm used to. This is just what I say. But we got to get out of that habit of this is just what I'm used to. This is just what I say. It's just words. No, there is power in your words. The life and death is in the power of the tongue. So what you speak over yourself is what's going to happen. When you speak over yourself in a positive way, guess what? You're letting the world know, you're letting the enemy know, the devil know that today, this is what's going to happen. I am claiming it now. I'm speaking it over myself now. But if you go and you speak those negative things over yourself, you're saying, guess what? Go ahead, have a field day with me, because this is how I'm feeling. And this is what it's going to be. So when those things happen, you're like, see, I said it. This is what's going to happen. But you spoke it over yourself first thing in the morning. So what were you expecting to happen? So I need you to think about that when you do talk negatively to yourself. Now, also, decision making. When you talk negatively, it can cloud your decisions. Because if you're always saying that I can't do this, I'm not capable of doing this. If somebody asks you and they say, hey, I know you're good at this. I know that your gifting is this. But then you look and go, I don't know why they want me. There's so many people out here and they could pick. She's good at this, so why are they coming to me? So you're talking yourself out of an opportunity because of the negative self-talk, because you're already saying, I'm not capable of this. I'm not worthy of being chosen for this. And you're saying also that I don't see myself the way the other person sees you. But that person, they see your gifts and your talents, and they're giving you that opportunity. And your judgment is cloudy because of the negative self-talk that you have spoken over yourself. So I need you to stop and think about that. How many times have you missed out? How many times have you missed out on opportunities because of your negative self-talk? Think about that. How many times have you regretted not doing something? An opportunity was presented to you, and somebody was like, I think you would be good at this. I saw how you handled the situation. Do you think you would like to do this? And then you go, no, I'm not good at that. No, I'm afraid to speak in front of people. I'm shy. I wouldn't be able to do that. I'm not capable of that. You just talked yourself out of this great opportunity that might have only came once in a lifetime, or it might come back around. And hopefully, if you have done that in the past, hopefully that opportunity will come back. And then you will now know, I am capable. I am worthy of this. And that confidence level will be boosted. So that way you will walk into that opportunity with confidence. And then lastly, we was talking about how negative self-talk can affect your relationships. How can they affect my relationships? Just imagine. This could be a friend relationship. This can be husband-wife relationship, boyfriend-girlfriend relationship, two friends. It could be whatever, as long as it's a relationship. But imagine somebody comes to you and they say that you're so nice. You're always helpful. I like that about you. You always see people in need and you do what you need to do. And then you go, I don't do that. I don't like to be bothered. So now that relationship, they're like, okay, because now they're going to see you in another perspective than what you're trying to say. Also, if you are always speaking negatively about yourself and then another person is trying to build you up, eventually that individual is going to get tired because they understand and they see your quality, they see your worth, but you're always talking negatively. So they're like, why does she do that? Or why does he do that? Like you have these qualities, but yet you keep saying you are less than. So I need you to realize how negative self-talk can hinder your life. It can cause roadblocks. It can cause you to set up boundaries that you don't want. Now, what I want you to do is to stop and think of your thoughts, your emotions, and your actions. Because what you think shapes how you feel, and how you feel influences what you do. So what you think shapes how you feel. So right now, if I'm thinking, I'm rocking this session today. Yes, I'm rocking it. So now what I think shapes how I feel. So I'm feeling what? I'm feeling good. I'm feeling confident right now. And then it influences you. How you feel influences what you do. So since I'm already thinking I'm rocking out and my confidence is up here, now my influence, I'm going to keep giving you all the good stuff. But if I walked in here and I'm like, you know what? I'm not feeling this session today. Like, no, I'm not feeling this session today. So right now, that's what I'm thinking. So then how am I going to feel? So while I'm sitting here talking to you, it's not going to be, okay, let's do this. All right, people. Right now, we're going to talk about that's how I'm feeling. So I'm projecting that on my feelings. And so then how am I going to influence anybody with that attitude? So I need you to think about it. Your thoughts, your emotions, your actions are tied together. What you think shapes how you feel, and how you feel influences what you do. So I need you to start thinking of things that are uplifting. I need you to start speaking life over yourself. I need you to start having good vibes, as they say. I just want you to think about that. So that way, as you're going throughout your day, you're staying positive about anything that may happen. And then when negativity comes or negative things come to disrupt you, you have already something that you can use to deflect that and be like, no, it may have happened, but we're going to move on. So I want you to think about that as well. Now, negative self-talk becomes self-fulfilling. What you believe is what you become. That's basically already what we said, because your thoughts, emotions, and actions are tied together. The more you repeat something, the more you believe it. So I need you to start repeating uplifting words. I need you to start repeating things that want to build you up. So I have a list. I'm moving ahead of myself, but I just want to share this list. Okay, so we're going to talk through this list really quickly. There's negative self-talk and there's positive self-talk. So I am not good enough. Instead of you saying, I am not good enough, I am worthy and capable just as I am. I always mess things up. Negative. I'm learning and growing through every experience. So I need you to be able to know how to change these negatives into a positive. Nothing ever works out for me. I trust that things are working out in my favor. Now, I also want us to think about, where is the negative self-talk coming from? Where is it coming from? Because it's not just something that happened. It had to be some event that happened in your life. Belief, trauma, culture, childhood experience, something that happened that caused you to be able to start speaking negatively about yourself. So, for example, if you were raised in a household where there was verbal abuse, or if somebody always told you you were doing something wrong, that you never do anything right, you're not smart enough, they're comparing you to your sisters, brothers, cousins, whoever, and they're always comparing you, and they're saying that you always brought home the bad report cards, you were the one that was always getting in trouble. Those things get embedded in your brain. Some people, they say, oh, it just rolled off my shoulder. No, it didn't. It's seared in your brain somewhere. All of these negative things that have been spoken over you. You can't do this. You can't do that. And then in some cultures, they actually believe that if they speak harshly to their child, it's going to rear them up to be a strong individual. Because in their mindset, they're speaking harshly. So that way, once they get older, if these things come about, they already know how to handle them. But the thing about it is when you speak harshly or you speak negatively to somebody, you're causing that person to have anxiety. They have anxiety. So now anytime something happens, they don't want to upset people. So they're going to try to always do it right. And in the process of them always trying to do it right is going to cause them anxiety because it has to be perfect. Just like if you have somebody who's emotional and you always telling them they're a crybaby, why are you crying so much? Why are you always showing your emotions? That's also going to cause them to suppress how they're feeling, but it might cause them to have depression. It might cause them to have anxiety. And there are a lot of things as children we endured. We didn't know any better. We endured those things. And then when we got older, we're trying to figure out what's going on, what's wrong with me. It's not that anything is wrong with you. It's just the fact that this is how you were brought up. This is how you were raised. But now it's amazing to me because when I was teaching, they always said when the parents brought the kids to school, they're sending in the best that they have. But then also they always said as well, you can't give what you never received. So on the parents' end, if they never receive that positive talk, how can they give it to their child? If they never receive that love and that hug, the caring, they can't give it out. So a lot of times we have to stop and think because we're always trying to figure out what's wrong with us. Why do we feel like this? Why do we think like this? But we have to stop and think, what were we receiving? And then once you realize what it was that you're receiving, don't throw the blame at that individual. Like, don't throw the blame at your parents. Like, you didn't show me this. You didn't give me this. If they didn't get that, they didn't know how to give it to you. So they were giving you the best that they had, and they were giving you what they received. So now the thing is, now that you know differently, it is up to you to decide how you're going to walk the rest of your life. So if you know for a fact that you were spoken negatively to, and you realize you didn't like it, but you realize right now that sometimes you're doing the same thing. Now it's time to stop and realize, okay, this is not how I want my life to go. This is not how I want to be able to move forward in my life. I don't want to throw this on my children or the people that I love. So now what are you going to do to change it? So yes, our childhood experiences, past experiences, belief, traumas, culture, all of that has a totality on how we are right now. It has an effect on how we are right now. Every little thing that we experienced when we were little got attached to us in some form or some fashion. And then when certain situations arise in our lives, we bring it back up. We react a certain way that we reacted when we were little, or we remember how it felt when we were little. So now, right now, what I want you all to do is just to stop and think. Would you say what you say to yourself to someone that you care about? So if you're that type of person that's always putting yourself down, would you say that to somebody that you care about? Would you want to turn to that person and be like, you're nothing, you're worthless, you can't get anything right? Would you want to say that to someone you care about? No, you wouldn't. So then if that's the case, why are you saying it to yourself? Why are you saying those things to yourself? See, this is another thing we have to realize. A lot of times we always put everybody else before us. We always want to make sure that everybody else has everything they need. But we don't stop and think, do we have everything that we need? Are we pouring everything into ourselves that we need? So are we being patient with ourselves? Are we being kind to ourselves? Are we speaking to ourselves in a manner that's going to cause us to move and do and to live a happy life? So we need to stop and reflect on that and think about those things. So now it's time to flip the script. It's time to rewrite the script, shift to positive talk, changing the narrative. So when we do positive talk, we're empowering ourselves. We are empowering ourselves. We're giving ourselves that confidence that we need. We're giving ourselves that okay, that we can be great. We're giving ourselves that assurance that we need when we self-talk. Because I know there are many times after a situation happens, I sit and I talk to myself. And it's funny because my son, he talks to himself a lot. But see, I was like, you gotta know how to talk to yourself in private. Like, you gotta know how to talk to yourself in private. Like, because I will sit and have a full-blown conversation with myself. If something happens that I wasn't too keen on, that I wasn't like, I could have did better. And I'll sit and go, you know what? Next time I'm gonna do this differently. Like, next time I'm gonna be prepared for this. This person said that, I'm gonna have this to say to them. Or instead of being harsh, you know what? I could have killed that with love. I could have said some nice things to build them up because I don't know what they're going through. So you have those conversations with yourself. And guess what? It's okay, people, if you talk to yourself. It is okay. Now, if you walk down the street, you're talking to yourself 24/7, then you might have a little issue going on. But it's okay if you take that time in that moment to talk to yourself, to reevaluate what is going on, to approve yourself, to affirm yourself. It is okay to do those things. Because right now, we're going to flip the script and we're going to turn that negative into a positive. So we're going to be able to reframe those negative thoughts, reframe the negative speech. So now what I want for those who are following, those who are listening, if you are on social media, I want you to drop in the chat a negative thought that you say. Whatever the negative thought is, I want you to drop it in the chat. It could be something simple. I'm slow. I'm never going to make a difference. I want you to drop it in the chat. Drop that negative thoughts in the chat. And guess what? We're going to flip it. We're going to flip it. So what I say is notice it, name it, and then you claim it. I had another word, but I'm going to change it. So notice it. Catch that negative thought. Name it. If it's fear, we're not having that fear. And then when you claim it, I want you to speak a positive instead of the negative. So if you say, I'm going to give you an example. I hate the way I look. That's your negative thought. I hate the way I look. Name it. For this one, I'm going to say it's body shaming. You're body shaming yourself. And then I want you to claim it. I am beautiful. I am beautiful. I am wonderfully made. And then if you want to go in and throw in scriptures, I am made in the image of God. And God is perfect. So I want you to think about that thing. Think about that thing. And then you are going to flip the script. So we have, hey, Asia. We have Asia say, I'm not confident enough. Now, flip the script, Asia. Flip the script. Now I want you to tell me, what are you going to say? I am not confident enough. Flip that script. Tell me, what are you going to say? You can say, I am capable. I want you to flip that script. What are you going to say? You're not confident. You're confident. You have everything you need within inside of you. So flip that script. I am intelligent. I am unique. I am wonderfully made. I'm fearfully and wonderfully made. Flip the script. Speak life over yourself. I can, I will, I shall. I can do this. I will do this by, and I shall do this. So I want you to think about those things. Build yourself up. I can, I will, I shall. I can, I will, I shall. So now, I have a list here that I want to share. And for this list here, for those who are listening, I may not have introduced myself as saying, but I am a Christian. I believe in God. I love God with all of my might. So every now and then you're going to hear me reference God. You're going to hear me throw scriptures out. So if you I just want you to catch it and receive it. That's what I'm going to say. Catch it and receive it. If it's not for you, it's not for you. If it is for you, I want you to catch it and receive it. So here we go. I'm not good enough. I am fearfully and wonderfully made. That is your positive. I always mess things up. God is still working on me, and his grace covers me. I can't do this. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. Nothing ever works out for me. God works all things together for my good. I'm a failure. Though I fall, I will rise again. I will never be successful. The Lord makes me prosperous and gives me success. Now, I'm also going to throw in some other examples. I should be further along by now. I'm right where I need to be on my journey. I don't have what it takes. Everything I need is already within me. I'm not as good as them. I honor my own progress and path. Why even try? I fail anyway. Every step I take brings me closer to my growth. I'll never change. I am capable of change and committed to my growth. Now, I just gave several examples of negative talk, and then I turned that negative talk into a positive talk. So this is what I want you all to be capable of doing. Soon as you catch yourself saying something negative, I want you to flip the script, and I want you to turn it into a positive. Flip the script and turn it into a positive. Now, there are so many things that we could say about how we see ourselves and how we feel about ourselves. But what I want us to start realizing is that we need to love ourselves. On our good days and our bad days, we need to love ourselves. And we need to be able to speak life over ourselves. There are so many people out here who just struggle with loving themselves. They struggle with loving themselves. They struggle with seeing the beauty that is within them. They struggle with knowing that they are loved. They struggle with just believing that there is a purpose for their life. And that struggle could have been formed by so many things. But I just need people to come to the realization that you are here for a reason. You are here for a reason. You may not know what that reason is yet, but you are here for a reason. So I need you to keep living. And I'm saying that because somebody needs to hear that. I need you to keep living. You are here for a reason. You may not understand what it is, why you're here, why you have been through the certain situations in your life. Because some people's life are not easy. Some people have had hard lives. They have gone through tests. They have gone through trials. They have dealt with grief, loss, shame, guilt. They have dealt with it all. And so they are battling in their mind. Why am I here? Like, why am I here? What is the purpose for my life? I would be better if I was not here. I need you to hear me clearly and understand that you are here for a reason. You are here for a purpose. You have a purpose for your life. You may not see it yet, but you do. You have overcome so many tests and trials. You have overcome so many difficulties. You came out victorious. You came out on top. Even though you don't see it as that, you did. You're still here. So that means you came out of whatever that situation is. I need you to understand that you have a purpose. Your purpose may just be to be able to speak to somebody else who's been in your situation. Your purpose might just be to share your story. So that way other people who are feeling like, oh my goodness, I'm not in this by myself. I'm not alone in this. Like there's other people like me. So I need you to realize you have a purpose. You are here for a reason. Love on yourself. Start loving yourself. Because a lot of times people feel as though I'm unlovable. Like I've been through too much. I've seen too much. I've done too much. I am unlovable. Nope, you're not unlovable. Love on yourself. Once you start loving on yourself, your mindset will change. Your mindset will change, and then you'll be able to see or discern those around you who are actually there rooting for you. Because a lot of times when you're in that situation and you're in that dark space, you don't see the people who are rooting for you. And it's amazing because when you see those individuals who are actually rooting for you in your eyesight, you see them as somebody who is there, who is trying to cause you harm, who don't like you, who is saying things behind your back, but actually they are rooting for you. They're in your corner. But since your judgment is cloudy, you can't see that. So I need you to start loving on yourself. Even if every day you just have to wake up and speak one positive thing over yourself, speak it. If you have to take that positive thing to your mirror, to the wall, to the refrigerator, wherever it is that you go on a constant, have it posted so that way you can see it. So when you have your moments of doubt, when you have your moments of uncertainty, you can read it. I am beautiful. I am wonderfully made. I can do this. I am an overcomer. I am a fighter. Whatever it is, find that one affirmation, that one positive talk, whatever you want to call it. I want you to find it. Whatever the one thing that you struggle with the most, that one thing that you struggle with the most, I want you to find it. I want you to write a positive affirmation, a positive self-talk about that one thing that you struggle with the most. And I want you to post it somewhere where you can see it. Put it on your mirror so when you get up in the morning, brush your teeth, wash up, it's there. Put it on the refrigerator so when you go to grab your food, it's there. If you got to put it on your car dashboard, put it on your car dashboard. So that way you see it and it is affirming you. So that way when that doubt comes, it's like, nope, it's right here. This says that I'm an overcomer. This says that I can do this. This says I will get through this. And you just speak that over yourself daily. Speak it over yourself daily until you feel the chains are being lifted off of you in that situation. And then guess what? Once you break that one bad stigma that you had over yourself, do it again. Do another one. And I want you to start claiming your own healing. Claiming your own healing. And somebody's like, well, how is this healing? Because you are, I'm going to say, not defeating the odds, but you're defeating the enemy because he wants you to be stuck in that spot. He wants you to be stuck in that mindset, in that thought pattern. He wants you to be stuck there. But if you're speaking that life over you every single day, it's eventually going to break. And you're going to eventually realize that this is not me. This is not who I want to be. I want to be better. And so then after you defeat that one, I want you to start working on another one. And then after you do that, work on another one. And you're going to see that you're going to start feeling much better. And you're going to see that you're actually starting to see the real you. Not the cover up you, not the you who was full of shame, the you that was full of guilt, whatever it is. You're going to start to see the real you and you're going to start to come alive. So that is what I want for you. That is what I want for you. So that is your assignment. That is one of your assignments because I got a lot of them. That is one of your assignments. I want you to write down a positive and I want you to reference that positive throughout the day. Reference the positive throughout the day. And then I just want you to take note of how you feel by the end of the day. So just pick one for now. Pick one for now. Post it up wherever you got to post it up. You can even put it on your phone. That's the perfect one. Put it on your phone, on your calendar, have it set for a certain time, and let it ding. And then that way, when it ding, you look at, you know, we all grab our phone when it ding. You look at it and go up, and then you read it. And you just set it for a couple of times out the day, and it ding, and you just pick it up and you read it. That way, it's right there, it's smack dead in front of your face, front and center, because we don't go anywhere without our phones. And you will have that encouragement with you. So that is one of your assignments. And I just want you to think about, at the end of the day, how you feel before you lay your head down on that pillow. How do you feel? Because you're going to feel good. You are going to feel good. So I want you to start, just put this activity into your regimen of daily activity. Things that you do every day. One affirming word, say it throughout the day. And you're going to feel good by the end of the day. Okay, now, next thing we're going to talk about is empowering yourself through thought shifting. Empowering yourself through thought shifting. We already spoke on this. Basically, when you're empowering yourself through thought shifting, you're changing your mindset. You are changing your mindset. You're being intentional. So if you're posting that note and you're saying it every day, you're being intentional with that. You're doing it because there's a purpose for it. So I want you to shift it. Everything's about a shift. There's going to be a shift. There's going to be a breaking. I'm claiming that shift and that breaking, because there's going to be healing and deliverance in that shift and that breaking. So once again, be intentional with your empowerment. Be intentional with your uplifting. Because when you are empowered, it means you're intentional, you're uplifting, you have faith-filled beliefs, and it reflects on your true potential that aligns with who you want to become. So when you're empowering yourself, you're pushing yourself to who you want to become. And it's amazing because when you empower yourself, a lot of the times you're empowering yourself, but you don't know exactly who it is that you are becoming until you become that individual. Because I would never have thought 10 years ago, 5 years ago, this would be me at this moment. But God knew, and he had placed people around me who knew, so they encouraged me and they pushed me. And then in the process of them encouraging me and pushing me, this is the outcome of it. So I thank those who were in my corner, who saw it before I saw it. But now I got it. I connected with them and I got it. So I want you to empower yourself. I want you to push yourself forward. I want you to push yourself to be greater. I want you to push yourself to be greater. Now I'm going to throw in some goal setting right now. This wasn't part of the plan, but I'm going to throw in some goal setting. I want you to stop and think of one thing that you want to change in your life for the better. One thing that you want to change in your life for the better. I want you to write that one thing down. Now, it has to be something that is like, yes, I want this change. Because if it's not something that's, yes, I want this change, you're not going to work towards doing it. So I want you to think of one thing that you want to change for the better in your life. After you have that one thing, you can write it down. After you have that one thing and you wrote it down, I want you to think about what steps do you have to take to get that one thing accomplished? What steps do you have to take to get that one thing accomplished? Now, this is just a mini version of goal setting. I could dive deeper, but I'm not at this time. So think of the one thing, write it down. Then I want you to think of the steps that it's going to take you to get that one thing accomplished. And after you write down the steps, then I want you to write down the stumbling blocks, the obstacles. Write down the stumbling blocks and obstacles that you think are going to come your way because you are trying to obtain that one thing. So you have that one thing. Write down the steps that it's going to take you to get to that one thing. Write down the obstacles that you think are going to come your way or you know are going to come your way because you are trying to obtain that one thing. Then after you write down the obstacles, I want you to write down how are you going to either avoid those obstacles or overcome those obstacles. So steps, no, one thing, two, the steps to overcoming the one thing. Three, write down the obstacles that you're going to face or you think you're going to face. Four, write down how you're going to overcome those obstacles. And then fifth, I want you to give yourself a time frame. Give yourself a time frame. Now, this is going to be a work in progress. It's not going to happen overnight. So try maybe 30 days. And then for some people, you got to go smaller than that. I understand. So you try a week. Try a week working on this one thing and see how far you come. And in that week, what steps can you accomplish in that week? What steps can you accomplish in that week? And then by the end of the week, I want you to reflect back on what happened, what didn't happen that you might have expected to happen, and then how you're going to move forward to continue on with that goal. And this is all with empowering yourself. This is all with building yourself up. Because we always want to move forward. We want to grow. We don't want to stay stagnant. We don't want to stay where we are. So there's always some things that you can do that is going to change your life for the better. That's going to make you better. So I want you to stop and think about that. And I want you to work on that one goal. Work on that one goal. See, so now you got two assignments. You have the post a positive affirmation around the house, around wherever you're going, so that way you can see it and it can upbuild you and uplift you and motivate you and encourage you. Then you have the assignment for goal setting. Find the goal setting that you need. Find the one thing you want to change in your life. Identify the actions. Identify the obstacles. Identify how you're going to overcome it. Give yourself a time span. If you're going to start with a week on that goal, work with a week. Then build up to 2 weeks, build up to 3, and keep moving until you achieve that goal. Once you achieve that goal, guess what? Start a new one. Start a new one. All right. Now, see, now I'm changing everything around. Okay, so we're going to do this real quick. I want you to think 3 powerful truths about who I am, no matter what anyone else say. I want you to think about 3 powerful truths about who you are, no matter what anyone else say. What are those 3 powerful truths? So I can go for me 3 powerful truths. I'm still here, but I'm going to get up, y'all. I'm still here. All right, those 3 powerful truths. I need a plug. All right, I'm still here, people. I had to fix an issue. Fix an issue. Okay. 3 powerful truths. 1 powerful truth. I am a go-getter. I am a go-getter. I am going to go and get what I think I deserve. I am the person who, you say, if I can't, I'm going to prove you wrong. And I have faith and confidence in myself. I have faith and confidence in myself. Now, I'm going to divert this real quick and tell a quick story. When I was teaching, I felt that I was good at what I was doing. And I had parents and students that could tell me that I was good at what I was doing. And I was at this one school, and the school was going a little bit crazy. And I don't stay where crazy goes. I move on. So I asked my principal to transfer me to another school. And my principal told me she was not going to transfer me. And she told me, nobody wants you. She said, you're not good enough. You can't teach. Nobody wants you. So you might as well just stay right here. And I'm just looking at this lady and I'm like, Lord, all right, God. Like, I know she's not saying this to me right now. And she said that over and over again. She said, nobody wants you. So no, I'm not transferring you. And then I left out the office and I sat there and I contemplated everything this lady said. And I was like, oh, I know I am good at what I do. I'm like, I have records that prove I'm good at what I do. But then come to find out, she said what she said because she didn't want me to leave the school. Because I was the one who could handle the behavior problems at the school. So she said that to make me stay there. But I'm like, there was another way that she could go about doing it. But since I am that person who say, if you tell me I can't, oh, I'm gonna prove you wrong. So what I did was I proved her wrong because I got another job at another school where they treated me better. But the thing was that I am that person that you're not going to speak negatively over my life. And I'm not going to be that person who sits and agree with it. I'm not going to sit there and go, oh, nobody wants me. I can't teach. I might as well find another career. No, because I already knew that was the enemy trying to redirect my path. Because one thing about me is God positions me in different places for a reason. And like teaching was never my first go-to. Teaching was never my first go-to. Teaching was never my first go-to. I wanted to be a hairstylist. Yes, I wanted to be a hairstylist. I went to Mervo, and I wanted to take up cosmetology. And when I went to Mervo to take up cosmetology, the cosmetology classes were full. And I was like, okay, so I had to pick another trade. And then I was like, they had childcare. I'm like, oh, well, let me go to do childcare. Guess what? Childcare was full too. So I ended up in data processing. But then once I graduated high school, I ended up getting a job as a teacher. When I went to college, I ended up taking up teaching. And I'm like, God, why am I going in this direction? Because I didn't understand why I was going in this direction. Because I'm like, me, school, we didn't get along. Like, we didn't get along in school. Like, oh, no, I was that one. They told me stop talking in the classroom. I was that one that struggled with math. I'm like, school, we didn't get along. So, like, why am I going in this direction? But once again, you never know where God wants you to go. And so I ended up teaching. And the thing about it was, God placed me at different schools for a reason. There were so many individuals that I didn't realize till after the fact that I helped them and I changed their lives for the better. And some of them were even parents based off of the wisdom that God gave me. I'm not going to say I'm tooting my own horn. It was me. No, it wasn't me. It was God. Because I was sitting there like, why am I here? Like, this is craziness. Because you have to have a lot of patience, a lot of heart for teaching. And I fell in love with teaching. I love to teach. I love to encourage. I love to push students and let them know that they can be great. I love to push individuals. I love to push anybody and let them know that they can be great. So God had to show me my gifting through me being a teacher. And then he showed me what I was doing and how I was shaping and molding the children's lives. And I was just like, oh, wow, God. But then see, I went this way because you saw how the enemy tried to come in with that one principle. And she tried to tell me, because that was my first school. So that was within my first 4 years. And I've taught for 15 years before I ventured out on my own. So that was my first school. And you see how the enemy tried to creep in and he tried to deter what God had for me. But did I let it? Did I allow it? Did I allow her negativity to spew onto me? No, I didn't. I did not allow her words to break me. I didn't allow her words to change my path because I already knew what was instilled inside of me. I already knew the giftings that were inside of me. I didn't know how far I would go with this, but I knew that I had to keep going and she wasn't going to break me. So I went to my next school and the same thing happened. And this is also another thing because at every school I ended up dealing with a lot of the behavior children. It didn't first start out that way, but then eventually as I kept going, I started dealing with a lot of behavior children. But this is when I was able to actually sit and I was able to actually speak with them and find out what was going on with them, give them that active listening that they needed, give them that listening ear that they needed. So that way I could show them empathy and let them know, hey, you care, you matter. Like you might have a lot going on in your life, but somebody's here for you that you can come and talk to. Like, I'm here. You can come find me. I'm here. So yet again, God was already directing my footsteps into empowering and uplifting people. And I didn't even know I was doing it. I was just like, this is what I'm called to do. I'm going to do it. But it wasn't even a calling. It was just inside of me. It was innate. Like this, I'm giving you this because I already have enough of it for me. So now I'm going to give it to you all. And that's just how it was with the kids. So I loved on the kids just like they were my own kids. You acted a fool, I got you straight, just like you were my own kids. But they knew that was love. And a lot of kids came back and told me they knew that I loved them. And a lot of teachers did not give them that love that they needed. So yet again, I want you to stop and think of your 3 powerful truths about yourself. What are they? What are those 3 powerful truths about yourself that no matter what anybody say, it's not going to shake you? What are those 3 powerful truths? And I want you to put that up somewhere as well, because that's going to be your constant reminder to keep going forward. And if you don't have your 3 powerful truths, I want you to stop and figure out what they are. Figure out what they are. And then I want you to post them up, because you need to be able to say these 3 things about you. So that way, when somebody tries to put the negativity on you, they try to break you, the enemy tries to come against you in some form, you can speak back to the enemy. You can speak back to that individual and say, no, that is not so, because I am this, and I am this. And then you can go here on. So I want you to think about those things as well. Now, just for final affirmation, I want you to think about it. I am aware of my inner voice. I choose to speak power over my life, one thought at a time. I want y'all to remember those assignments that I gave. I want you to work on those assignments. While you're working on those assignments, you are working on yourself. And guess what? Come join me next week. Tune in next week. Invite somebody else to watch as well. If you gain anything from this, have somebody else join in. And next week, we'll be talking about shifting from fear to faith. Shifting from fear to faith. I thank you for tuning in today. I thank you. I appreciate you. And I just hope that you will tune in again, re-listen, reflect, repeat. Once again, remember, I am Jacqueline Jobes. I am your empowerment strategist. And I pray that you all be blessed.
It's the first inaugural